Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be taking a first look at Gold Mythic Jacki, who is going to be an event character that you can gain in multi-week event during January 2022. More information on that to follow. You can see visually she looks pretty cool. On the left hand side it's the art we saw with the sneak peek at New World Order video, but on the right hand side we can see a little bit more. She has got, sunglasses on here. She's got the shades, taking the coolness levels up a couple of notches. She has definitely got the akimbo pistols. We can see the animation, very reminiscent of other akimbo pistol characters like Sandy, for instance. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, she's an alert character, not like the fast one we saw before, but she is a leader, so she's going to have that carried over. We'll check out her stats just to check out what she's going to bring to the table. She is a limit break 3 character here, level 720. She has got 17,469 attack, 14,973 defense, and 17,469 HP. She is an alert character. She is of course a controller, as you can see on the right hand side with the purple skills. If people have purple skills, they're control characters. She's a mythic character, and she is part of the New World Order, an allegiance that we knew that she was going to be part of. It was teased. If you want to check out my preview of the New World Order allegiance and what's to come there, ideas, theories, you can see a link in the top right hand corner popping up right now. But for now, we'll move on to the rest of Jacki's kit. And the first part is going to be her Adrenaline Rush, which is called Pandemonium. It is a 66 AP cost rush. Deals 600% damage to a single enemy. Up to 2 enemies get confused. For 2 turns, all teammates recover from confuse. This is honestly pretty nice. We have seen characters do this sort of thing in the past. I think it's quite similar to characters like, wasn't it Michonne in the S-Class era had confused to 2 and dealt percentage damage? But it's like the 6-star Shiva where if you take out 1, hopefully we'll test this out, if you take out 1, then 2 others should be confused. This is nice. I've always liked this for characters, and it's a heavy hitting attack as well, and because she is a leader, she is going to be surrounded by 1535s on an attack team, so that 600% is going to be amplified very nicely. All teammates recover from confused, I guess, is okay. It would have been obviously much more powerful if it was recover from a taunt. We're seeing a lot more taunt pop up right now, or if it gave teammates focus. But it is what it is. It's going to cleanse them of confuse, and confuse can obviously pop up, but on signature moves and rushes. And if she is going to be a leader on an attack team, you're going to lose the potential for the focus lead from, let's say, a Negan. So this is going to help you out to a certain extent there. Okay, so we have got the Adrenaline Rush up right now of Jacki, and we're going to rush someone. We're going to do trait damage. This is going to give us a better chance to take them out. And we're going to see if 2 other characters get confused. This is the most important thing about this rush. If it confuses the one that we attack, there's only a 1 character confused outside of the kill. We want 2. We want to see 2. We do see Maggie, and we see Garrett. I was worried for a second. And it's a 2 turn as well, so this is very nice. This of course means if I skip to the next turn, those 2 characters will just randomly attack. They could attack their own team, or they could just randomly attack other characters. Unfortunately, they did take me out still. That's how confuse works, but they didn't use their signature moves, so they didn't get bonus HP off of Garrett's signature move. And there are a lot of turn 2 signature moves, if you get this rush off nice and early, and it would stop people from rushing too. So if I defend twice again, you'll see that these 2 characters that can rush will no longer be rushing. Very nice indeed. Very, very nice. And if any of my teammates were confused, they would have been cleansed, but none of them were. And personally, I like this kind of Adrenaline Rush, or this kind of build for an attack leader, just because I don't think attack leaders should need to be the damage dealers. I think they need to be someone who's going to be more support character, and this is a bit of a mix, honestly. 600% damage is nice. The 2 people getting confused for 2 turns is great. However, if we look at the upgrades, we can see at grade 3 you'll get 200% damage boost, so it'll go from 200% to 400%. At grade 5 it adds all teammates recover from confused, so if you get the character to grade 5, easy level up points there, and you'll get a nice boost. And these are free boosts, no military supplies required. At limit break 3, so quite a big jump up to the grand total of 5 Jackies required. You will get up to the 600% damage rush. So I think before then, you'll be relying a lot on things like attack buffs, 1535's defense down on the enemy, but 600% once at limit break 3 will be very, very nice indeed. Now next on the chopping block, we're going to be checking out the signature move of Jacki. It is called Muzzle Flash. I do really like the art of Muzzle Flash with the sort of jaggedy bullet line. I do like that. Initial cooldown of turn 1, cooldown of 2 turns, number of uses unlimited. Attack an enemy for 150% damage. That enemy gets confused for 3 turns. So you have a first turn, 3-turn confuse from this character. Very reminiscent of Mirabelle, same sort of deal. I like Mirabelle's a lot, but it's a 2-turn. This is a 3-turn. This is going to be great. Of course, that attack can crit. It can also proc on defense. You know how signature moves work when it says attack an enemy. But that 3-turn confuse is awesome. And we don't have too many characters out there right now that really... I mean, I don't think confuse is really that heavy, so people aren't really using resist, so this is going to be almost be like super effective. You know, basically it's going to be very, very useful, especially against certain characters that have very, very powerful first turn signature moves. Don't forget, you could also hit this against a character that would go into Outlast before you take them out, and that way then they would be confused in Outlast mode. Unless they're governor, you've got to kind of run the risk of him potentially cleansing himself. So here we are on turn 1, and let's just imagine any of these characters are problematic when it comes to their first turn signature move. We can target them and hit them with Jackies. Simple as that. The damage isn't going to be that fantastic. It might do a reasonable amount if it's trait, but it's that 3-turn confuse which is awesome. That is going to basically mean they're going to miss their first turn potential signature move or their second turn potential signature move and their adrenaline rush. They'll still gain AP. They'll still be ready. So once they come out of it at turn 4, they'll be able to rush. But that is a heavy control. Now, we do have characters in the game on defense teams that do actually cleanse people on defense teams, like William and stuff like that. So that could be a problem. But then again, you could decide to confuse William himself. He's got a pretty decent signature move. He's got a very decent rush. And that could be a very useful way of just stopping him from getting too carried away. And of course, there would be a bit of a bonus about using it against someone like William because he is a strong character. So you're going to do trait damage. Characters like Marcus as well. There are quite a few strong defense team characters on the loose right now. This is going to be very useful. If we look at the upgrades, we can see at grade 2, it gets -1 cooldown. So it goes from 4-turn cooldown down to 3-turn cooldown. At grade 4, it gets -1 to starting cooldown, so it goes from a 2-turn to a 1-turn. At limit break 1, it gets +1 to confuse duration, so it goes from confusing 1 character for 2 turns to confusing 1 character for 3 turns. This is big, but even before that, 2 turns is still pretty decent. And then at limit break 2, you're going to get another -1 to cooldown, so it goes from the 3 turns down to 2 turns, and you're going to get it fully maxed out by limit break 2. But I'd say even at grade 4, as long as you've got the character at grade 4, I mean, I would probably use the character at grade 5 and above, but you're still going to have a first turn signature move that confuses someone for 2 turns. That's still pretty decent, but yeah, this is nice. 3 turns, if you get them to limit break 1, obviously you want to get them high as possible, get that damage amplified with the stats as much as possible. And yeah, I mean, this still could do a reasonable amount of damage. You can get first turn signature moves do huge amounts of damage, and it's only going to be like 200% hit. If you get her the weapon that does better percentage damage when a character's HP is over 50%, you're going to be doing like 40-50% extra damage every single time. Now next up are Jacki's Mythic Abilities, and these are her passive skills, and these can make a massive difference. Obviously, she has got Precision because she is a control character. Enemy resistances are 40% lower against this character, and that is a flat reduction. So let's say someone has 60% resist, they'll actually have a 20% resist, 100% resist, actually 60%. So this is very good. Panic, when this character performs a critical attack, 40% chance to confuse that end target for 1 turn. This is actually kind of interesting. It kind of gives her a specialist skill. She nearly gets confounding here. It's a 40% chance to confound someone basically. but it's only going to work with her basic attacks and her signature move, but her signature move does already confuse people. So I think the only way this would actually work is if she was to miss the confuse on her signature move. This could potentially, you know, do it instead, but it's only really going to work on her basic attack. So turn 1 she do her signature move, turn 2 you do a basic attack, and you've got a 40% chance there. Next one is called Thrive. When rushing an enemy with the confused status, this character gets 30% attack for the next 2 turns. Now this is a mixed bag, honestly. It's when you're rushing the opponent, you kind of want your rush to be enhanced when you rush someone with confused, but that's not going to be the case. It's going to give you basically a boost for your next signature move and your next basic attack. I guess you could potentially rush again quickly if you have someone who has, you know, speed ups or like a command or something like that, but otherwise it's not going to affect your rush, where you'd probably want this attack boost to actually come in. But if you had like a strong attacks or an alert attacks weapon in the team and you were getting 30% or higher, this would be, you know, non-effective, and you would just get that for your rush anyway, so it's not too bad. Next one is Dream Team, and this is an allegiance buff. All New World Order allegiance members get 100% stun resistance for the first 3 turns of combat. We did see this in the previous clips where she had 100% stun resistance, but it was because of her allegiance. This does mean when Raulito, when Titan, when Trader, when all these characters get on the same team, they're all going to have 100% stun resistance for the first 3 turns of combat. Obviously this can be countered by other control characters with precision, because it will reduce that down to 60%, but that's still base levels of good stun resistance and better than you can get with combat mods, and that means you wouldn't have to use combat mods with, you know, stun resistance on that team, so that's actually pretty nice. Okay, so I have given Jacki a special weapon that just has a bit more crit on it, just to give her better likeliness to crit. We're going to attack Harper up the top here, and you can see we hit the crit on the basic attack, and we have confused for 1 turn. This is just a nice little bonus. I wouldn't say this is, you know, spectacular, but 40% chance isn't terrible, all things considered. It is like imagine she had a weapon that said a better chance to confuse enemies when attacking. She's got that on her passives, so that's actually pretty nice. We'll just go over the upgrades for her passives, and you can see at grade 1 she gets Panic 1, at grade 2 she gets Precision 1, at grade 3 she gets Panic 2, so she's going to get the best out of her confused potential by grade 3. At grade 4 she gets the first half of Thrive, and that is going to be the attack buff. At grade 5 she gets the first half of Dream Team, so you get a 50% stun resistance by grade 5. So she has all of her skills by grade 5, just some of them will get buffed up afterwards. Precision at Limit Break 1 will be maxed out. Thrive will then get the second half at Limit Break 2, and then Dream Team Part 2 will come in at LB3. So I don't know, it's a mixed bag. I think it's kind of okay. Her passives I like, but it's going to be ultra effective if she's got New World Order characters in her team. Otherwise, her passives are like not actually one of the strongest parts of her kit. I'd say her rush is very strong and her signature move is very strong, whereas you see other characters that kind of have average signature moves and average rushes and then like really good passives. So it's not terrible. You're going to get nice bonuses, but mainly I think if you've got a New World Order team. Now on to that leader skill, and I think a lot of people will be very happy to see this. This would obviously happen at any grade the character was, and it's all teammates get 30% attack, so she is a rainbow lead when it comes to attack, but she's also a rainbow lead to a resist. All teammates get 100% bleed and burn resistance for the first 2 turns of combat. This is really powerful, really powerful. This is going to counter Zachary, this is going to counter tie leads, and I still do see Zachary and tie leads used in the game, and this is a free-to-play counter as she is part of an event. As long as you get one of this character, this leader skill will work this powerfully. And because she isn't a damage dealer, she doesn't have to be like completely maxed out to get the best out of her. I mean, to get the best out of her, you definitely do need to max out a character. But to get good levels of performance, because she's a controller, you can still get good levels even if she's only like a grade 5, for instance. So I don't think this is too bad at all. So we'll attack a team with both of those naughty boys. On a defense team, we'll have the burn from the leader skill of Ty, and we have bleed from the passives of Zachary. But you can see none of my characters have bleed or burn. They do, however, have 100% resists. Now, if a character comes in the game that has bleed or burn, but they are a controller and they then have max out their precision, this could counter this leader skill just a bit. It's just worth noting. But for now, that isn't the case. Zachary's a damage dealer, so he can't do that, and so is Ty. It is also worth noting, as you can see with Jacki, she's got 3 100% resists on her turn 1, 2 for 2 turns and 1 for 3 turns. This is a lot of heavy resist, and this does mean that you can, build attack teams, especially if you use New World Order, because every New World Order character will get that, with very specific resists in mind, and that could be very good for your chances of success, especially against particular defense teams. So I like this leader skill a lot. It is a little bit strange though, because it has got a blue picture as the leader skill, and generally speaking, attack leaders which give percentage attack have red. I guess it's seen as blue, which is more like a support leader because of the resists, but it's a good leader skill regardless. I think this is going to be very useful against characters that are out right now, but like I said, I think in the future there almost definitely will be a character that comes out that has the cheeky precision in there to make bleed more likely to proc, but for now, very nice. Now Jacki of course does have an attached weapon, and it is her violent dual silence pistols. They have a 30% attack boost, a medium bonus to AP when attacking, and on base they have splash damage when attacking, a better chance to attack all enemies adjacent to the target with 120% hit. This is obviously nice. This is one of the harder ones to get in the armory. It is one of the more recent ones. It isn't the OG splash damage, it is the advanced one, so that's actually pretty decent. And this could be a pretty easy upgrade. Huge bonus on attack, 40% attack, then make it 5-star. And then you can put a different weapon in their hands if you so wish. This is not a worthwhile weapon to just 5-star and skip, even if you've got this weapon itself. Because unless you've got 5 of this weapon, you never know. You never know. You could potentially want to use that weapon on someone else. I've got this weapon, fully maxed out. It looks really good. But I could use that on Sandy, or I could use that on Laurie and Jacki at the same time. Big benefit. Of course, like every other character, if you put 1535 in the 4th slot, it will buff the surrounding characters. And as a leader, that effectively enhances her leader skill, just like it would like Negan. And it gives her another 15% damage that she'll give out to all her teammates. So very worthwhile doing that. And like I said previously, and with every other leader as well, she will benefit from the 1535s around her and be buffed up quite heavily. You can get over 100k attack on a leader pretty easily, and 600% on 100k attack on her rush could be good. So overall, I actually think Jacki is pretty nice. She's going to be great for things like challenge run. I think out of all of the traits, we've had the most alert leaders, and we had a lot of unusable ones. Governor didn't really hit the mark. Rick is just kind of average for an attack leader. So Jacki is definitely hitting the spot when it comes to a good attack leader that is going to be, doing some nice stuff. The anti-burn and bleed on the lead skill is a massive bonus, and I think that is really useful indeed. I like that a lot. It's going to be great for challenge run, like I said. But I like her. I think visually she's great. I do, like I said, like control characters or support characters in the leader role. I prefer to use my damage dealers as damage dealers. If a leader's a damage dealer, it just seems like it's a potential waste because they're not going to get the enhancement of a specialist skill, if you know what I'm saying. Whereas like a damage dealer who's got a specialist skill like Michonne or Lydia, those are going to enhance their potential. Do tell me your thoughts though on Jacki. What do you think of her as a character visually? What do you think about her kit? Is there anything you would potentially have changed? But that is it for this video, guys. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. I want to thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.